Is the new iPhone 15 Pro Max the best phone out there now in early 2024? I'm sure the hardcore Apple fans will shout yes right away. For the most part, my review of this latest fancy phone from Apple backs up its best phone title. But that don't mean there ain't room for improvements in all the important stuff, especially with that Galaxy S24 Ultra looking like some tough competition. As usual, people say Apple's likely getting a bunch of big upgrades ready for the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and even though we probably got about 8 more months before Apple announces that next killer phone, one important upgrade they're sure to have is the main camera. If you care a lot about camera megapixels, you may be let down to hear that Apple doesn't plan to go past the current iPhone 15 Pro Max numbers for the next model. Specifically, rumors say the main rear camera on the iPhone 16 Pro Max will stick with 48 megapixels. That sounds way lower than the crazy 200 megapixel camera on the latest S24 Ultra. But megapixels don't tell the whole story nowadays. Real-world photo and video quality depends more on things like sensor type in high-end phones. Apple's priority is optimization over big specs. So even though the iPhone 16 camera sounds basic on paper, expect excellent images and video that rival or beat the S24 Ultra despite fewer megapixels. At the end of the day, it's the total package that matters, not just the numbers. Meanwhile, according to a trusted leaker on Weibo, the upcoming iPhone 16 Pro Max is rumored to feature Sony's IMX903 sensor, which hasn't been officially announced yet. This sensor will replace the IMX803 found in both the 15 Pro Max and 14 Pro Max. While specific details are scarce at this stage, we can expect improvements in terms of real-life photography capabilities for Apple's flagship smartphone. It is anticipated that Apple will utilize a customized version of this 48 megapixel sensor, which will likely be larger in size compared to the shooter found on the 14 Pro Max. Moreover, it is expected to incorporate cutting-edge technologies like a 14-bit ADC, analog-to-digital converter, and DCG dual conversion gain. Although not the largest in the industry, with a size of 14 inches, its stacked design with double-layer transistors should position the iPhone 16 Pro Max as a contender for being recognized as one of the best camera phones available when it launches in fall. In day-to-day scenarios, it has promising potential to outperform its competitors and deliver imaging performance. There are rumors that another top-of-the-line smartphone will feature a secondary periscope telephoto sensor on its rear. Unfortunately, there is no information from Digital Chat Station regarding the capabilities or potential upgrades of the camera on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Previous rumors suggested an improvement in performance along with an increase in optical zoom functionality from 3x to 6x. However, it would be wise to wait for confirmation from sources before setting high expectations. Similar uncertainty surrounds a rumor about the iPhone 16 Pro potentially adopting periscope telephoto technology. Interestingly, a recent tidbit mentioned on Weibo suggests that the screen of the iPhone 16 Pro Max might have a small curvature compared to its predecessor. This comes at a time as curved displays have been gradually phased out with each generation of Galaxy S smartphones. For now, we should consider this speculation, not expected to significantly impact user experience unless it indeed becomes reality. Now for those of you excited for the Apple iPhone 16 series, we're now going to run through the full specs design and the pricing for each model in the range to help you guys decide which one is right for you. For my regular viewers, you guys have seen this, so just skip to the next video. But if you're new here, then hit subscribe now, and we'll get right into it. So first up, we have the standard iPhone 16. With the standard iPhone 16, we get a 6.3-inch OLED display, but unfortunately, this is still going to be an LTPS display. The iPhone 16 is going to have a taller aspect ratio than last year, and it's going to be protected by Ceramic Shield too. We get the new Dynamic Island, which covers up the 12 megapixels selfie camera and Face ID sensors. Then on the rear, we've got a 12 megapixels primary camera and a 12 megapixels ultra-wide. It's powered by the A18 chipset, and it's likely going to come with a choice of 8 gigs of RAM and up to 512 gigs of storage. It's also powered up by a 3,450 mAh battery with 30 watts fast charging, and it's going to come with advanced 5G, Bluetooth 5.3, and Wi-Fi 6E. Now it will of course ship with iOS 18, and it's expected to launch from around $850 in September 2024. Now next up, we've got the iPhone 16 Plus. With the iPhone 16 Plus, we get a 6.9 in OLED display, and again, unfortunately, this is another LTPS display. It's got a taller aspect ratio than its predecessor, and it's protected by ceramic shield too. We get the new dynamic island, which covers up the 12 megapixels selfie cameras and Face ID sensors. Then on the rear, we've got a 12 megapixels primary camera and a 12 megapixels ultra-wide. It's powered up by the 18 Pro chipset, and it comes with 8 gigs of RAM and up to 512 gigs of storage. It's powered by a 4420 mAh battery with 30 watts fast charging, and it comes with the advanced 5G, Bluetooth 5.3 and Wi-Fi 6E. Now, of course, it ships with iOS 18, and it's expected to launch from around $950 in September 2024. Next up, we got the iPhone 16 Pro. Now the iPhone 16 Pro has a 6.3 in 120Hz LTPO OLED display. It's got a taller aspect ratio than its predecessor, and the Pro is protected by Ceramic Shield 3. We get the new dynamic island, which covers up the 12 megapixels selfie camera and Face ID sensors. Then on the rear, we get a 48 megapixels primary camera, a 48 megapixels ultra-wide camera, then we've got a 12 megapixels tetraprism camera with 5 times optical zoom. It's powered up by the 18 Pro chipset, and it comes with 8 gigs of RAM and up to 1 terabyte of storage, and it's also powered by a 3,450 mAh battery, and fast charging is still unknown at the moment, but we do expect some improvements, and of course it comes with the advanced 5G, Bluetooth 5.3 and Wi-Fi 7. It will of course ship with iOS 18, and it's expected to launch from around $1,100 in September 2024. Now finally, we saved the best to last, the iPhone 16 Pro Max. With the iPhone 16 Pro Max, we get a 6.9-inch 120Hz LTPO OLED display. Again, like the other phones, it's got a taller aspect ratio than its predecessor, and it's protected by Ceramic Shield 3. We get the dynamic island, which covers up the 12 megapixels selfie cameras and Face ID sensors. Then on the rear, we've got a 48 megapixels primary camera, a 48 megapixels ultra-wide, and a 12 megapixels tetraprism camera with 5 times optical zoom. It's powered up by the 18 Pro chipset. It comes with 8 gigs of RAM and up to 1 terabyte of storage, and it's powered up by a 4,500 mAh battery. As with the 16 Pro, we don't know the fast charging at the moment, but we do expect to see some improvements. Now it comes up with the advanced 5G, Bluetooth 5.3 and Wi-Fi 7, and it will of course ship with iOS 18, and this one's expected to launch around $1,300 in September 24. So overall, the iPhone 16 series is looking like a great addition to the iPhone lineup. More things remain similar. There are still plenty of upgrades with the new hardware to power it better and brighter displays. Along with the new battery thermal technology, this should really enhance the experience and work well with the new A features. Now, of course, because of all the similarities to its predecessor, it's probably not going to make anyone with an iPhone 15 rush for an upgrade, but for anyone with an older iPhone or looking to get their first iPhone, that it's going to be a great choice. Now, of course, as we approach the launch, more and more information is going to continue to come in, and I'll be sharing it as soon as it does, so make sure you subscribed so you don't miss a thing in the future. So, what are your expectations for the upcoming iPhone lineup? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. And for more updates, you can visit our channel. Till then, take care.